the cosmic heroine, the galactic bounty hunter, the chick with the shoulder boulders. Today we're bringing you the lowdown on this titan of video game history in this episode of Hero Unlocked. All systems are a go. Samus and her story are actually the brainchildren of three men: Makoto Kano, Hiroji Kayotaki, and Yoshio Sakamoto. Metroid is a game designed to encompass some of the best parts of its video game siblings, Mario Bros. And Legend of Zelda. It incorporated elements like platforming and exploration in order to make its franchise what it is. Metroid is very much also inspired by the movie Alien, and yeah, you can kind of tell. Like, if you look at it's like one lady and then the aliens. Yeah. The first title was made in order to make the player feel the isolation that Samus felt.
I don't get how anyone was surprised that Samus was a woman. I mean, shoulder pads. Everyone in the 80s knew the best way to slim your figure and get that hourglass shape was with shoulder pads. She was just following trends.
The first Metroid game was actually remade and re-released in 2004 as Metroid Zero Mission. After the success of the first game, however, Nintendo set their sights on the Game Boy. For some reason, they felt as though this was the next step for the titular character. This is where we saw an actual change in appearance when it came to Samus' armor, as the lack of color on the Game Boy would have made it difficult otherwise. Oh, and now she can crouch and shoot at the same time, so innovation. But the third installment, and one of the most famous, is Super Metroid for the Super NES. All bets were off with this one, and with a mere 15 people working on it, Super Metroid became one of the most critically acclaimed games in the franchise. This game was made with action in mind. From the various new abilities to the pumping new beats and score, this one truly made its mark on video game culture. Fast forwarding ahead to an era in which something called the third dimension had taken over video games. Yes, we're talking Metroid Prime. First announced during E3 of 2001, we as gamers found out that Metroid would be going from side-scrolling to first-person. In one of the most jarring of situations, Nintendo had taken a long-standing franchise and Zelda 2'd it right in our faces. However, when the game released in 2003 under the care of Retro Studios, Metroid Prime released to the masses and crushed all doubt in Samus' ability to work in the 3D space. The puzzles, the combat, and story were all present here. The games also added a completionist dream in the scan visor. That allowed Samus to scan the various environments within the game and learn more about them. It's kind of like if Siri was on your face, like, all the time. And lastly, we go on to talk about the black sheep in this bunch. There are two main ones here, and no, we're not talking about the pinball games, because those were, let's be real for a second, the best ones. No, we're talking Metroid Other M and Metroid Prime Federation Force. Metroid Other M was developed in part by Team Ninja, and one can definitely tell during the action sequences. This game was also said to take place between Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion, however that works. But this game's biggest claim to infamy comes from the fact that this is the first time Samus was given speaking lines. Voiced by Jessica Martin, Samus went from a silent and deadly bounty hunter with a heart of gold to having a personality, and people did not take to that well. Aside from the character given to Samus, the game also included unskippable cutscenes and linear gameplay, which is a big no-no for any Metroid game. And then there's Federation Force. To make a short story even shorter, during E3 2015, we learned that a spin-off game from the Metroid series would be coming to the Nintendo 3DS. This game offered up multiplayer Metroid Prime gameplay, and yeah, it was mission-based as well. Exploration was extremely limited, and fans of the franchise were not pleased. Oh, and the game came with a 3v3 ball game called Federation Force Blast Ball. That was cool, I guess. Samus was born on the Earth mining colony K2L. During a raid by the evil space pirates, young Samus' parents were killed. This attack was led by none other than Ridley, Samus' franchise-long rival. The attack on the colony left it utterly destroyed, and Samus an orphan. She was later found by an alien race of bird people known as the Chozo. They brought her back to their planet, Zebes, and raised her themselves. During her time on the planet, the Chozo infused young Samus with their DNA, which gave her crazy new abilities like her amazing acrobatic talent. Yeah, this lady has some serious hops. They were also the ones who gave Samus one of the most iconic suits in video game history, the Power Suit. From there, Samus has embarked on a multitude of different missions throughout the franchise. One of the first of her missions as a bounty hunter had her returning to the planet Zebes in order to stop the space pirates from weaponizing an alien form known as the Metroids. The space pirates found out that they could use beta rays in order to mass replicate the creatures. This presented a problem for the Federation police that Samus worked for, so they sent her and her alone to infiltrate the space pirates' base and defeat Mother Brain.
So the year this all takes place in is 20X5, right? So we can assume that it's in the future. So why doesn't this lady have her stuff backed up to like a power suit cloud or something? This lady's ship gets jacked up on every major adventure, and you're gonna tell me she forgot to save? Did she let her Nintendo subscription lapse or something? That doesn't make any sense.
Samus' first foray into the 3D space began when Samus detected a distress signal around the planet Talon 4. Once she, yet again, loses her power, she chases Ridley to the planet and discovers that it was once inhabited by the Chozo race. Man, they sure do seem to follow her around from planet to planet. Anyway, the Chozo were forced off of the planet because a meteor had struck the planet some years ago. This catastrophic event spread what the Chozo called the Great Poison across the planet, thus rendering it inhabitable. This poison was later dubbed Phazon by the space pirates who built a base upon the planet. They began to mine the substance in order to use its properties to alter life forms. This meant altering themselves, various creatures, and of course, Metroids. The most dangerous of these experiments being Metroid Prime. Of the 14 Metroid games released since 1986 and 2017, there are definite staples that have stayed with us as a video game community. Whether you think that 2D Metroid is better or that 3D reigns supreme, you're right, each holding a dedicated fanbase that loves the blonde bounty hunter more than the other. Those preferring the 2D often remark about the speed of the games feeling more fluid and action-packed, while those in the 3D party claim that the game feels more like a personal journey due to the isolation happening from a first-person perspective.
So 2D Metroid is like this really, really good pizza. Like a pizza that needs no improvements, you know? And then right as you're being served this amazing pizza, somebody walks in and throws a butt ton of Metroid Prime pineapples on your pizza and flips you off as they walk out of the room. That sounds so good right now.
Samus is both a staple as an evergreen protagonist and a dope female lead in gaming. One of the first at that. She still continues to drive fans of the series of the franchise and has never shied away from a good fight. And despite having a few blemishes on her report card, Metroid remains a franchise based on quality. Being able to deliver the feeling of isolation is not something that is always done well, but is rarely missed here. Samus' next foray is going to be in Metroid Prime 4, and currently we know nothing about this project. It was shown off at E3, and this whole year we've seen nothing else of it. There have been rumors that Bandai Namco is going to be handling some of the development, but there is no way to confirm this. What we do know is that it's going to take place somewhere after Corruption. As for 2D Metroid, we simply don't know as well. We just got a remake of Metroid 2, so it could be some time before we see another project brought back out. No matter where the franchise takes her or has her do, from pinball to this, Samus remains what she always has been. She is powerful, she is fierce, she is Samus Aran.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe.
If you didn't like that video, make sure to hit like and subscribe.
We hope you enjoyed it, and we do this every week, so we got tons more where that came from.